You arrived at last. What were you doing, GP?
And I worked out and hit the showers. You know have to look and smell good for these fine ass grannies.
Don't start with that shit about fucking grannies. You think you need a drink before we kick off the show?
Man, hell no. Let's get straight to the show. If you're a first time viewer, be sure to stick around for the entire video. Also, to like, subscribe, and share buttons if you enjoy the content. Lastly, most importantly, keep it respectful in my comment section if you just so happen to leave a comment. And go ahead and cue the ground rules while I finish getting ready for the show. I'll be back with y'all momentarily.
Commence them as we speak.
Initiating System 1. System 1 loaded.
Welcome to Reality with GP. Before the show starts, a few ground rules need to be said. Number 1, if you're a prominent YouTuber and you admire GP's editing style, add to GP directly about how he does his editing. Number 2, prominent YouTubers must do a reaction video to GP's latest upload to learn his editing techniques for free. Number 3, people who are emotionally sensitive to cold, hard truth, you don't belong here, so get the fuck on somewhere right now. Number 4, any non-black women or black women under the age of 40 who find GP romantically and sexually attractive, refrain from advances, or else you will get blocked. Number 5, if you are an attractive 40 to 55-year-old black woman and you would date and or marry a 24-year-old man, inbox GP on Instagram. It's GP, your show starts in less than 30 seconds. You ready?
You damn right I'm ready. And make sure I look good for the camera just in case one of these fine ass grannies decide to tune into the show. Alright, let's get it. What's good with y'all? It's your boy GP. Alright, I'm back and I got a few videos I'm gonna put on for y'all today. I'm gonna let the first video play and I'm gonna come back and get my perspective on it as usual. Let's roll that first news report.
Why alphas really hate sigmas. Alphas love control. They need an audience. They thrive on dominance. But a sigma? He plays by no one's rules. He answers to no one, and that drives alphas insane. Here's the truth. Alphas build their power through people. They demand recognition. They command attention, and they expect submission. But a sigma, he couldn't care less. He doesn't play their game, and worse, he doesn't respect their so-called hierarchy. And that kills an alpha's ego, because alphas need validation. They need people to admire them. But when a sigma walks in, suddenly, the alpha isn't the most important man in the room anymore, and that scares him. Weak men follow, alphas lead. But sigmas walk alone, and that's the difference. That's the threat. Because a sigma doesn't just ignore the alpha's dominance, he proves that true power doesn't come from controlling others. It comes from controlling yourself. That's why alphas hate you. Not because you're weak, not because you challenge them, but because you don't care. Their power means nothing to you, and a man who can't be controlled is the most dangerous kind. An alpha needs a tribe to be strong. A sigma, he is the wolf pack. That's why they fear you. That's why they envy you. And that's why they will always hate you.
Statements in that video were 100% factual in my honest opinion. Bob said there were multiple things that weren't mentioned pertaining to why alpha males tend to hate my archetype of sigma males. But I'm just going to explain a few areas due to me being pressed for time here. First area of reference. Sigma males naturally attract the attention that alphas usually have to show off and boast for without even trying. Now I'll give an example to expound on what I mean by that. See, as a sigma male, whenever I go anywhere that I've never been seen before, everybody will automatically stop what they're doing and divert their attention directly to me. Now, some people might not see that as a bad thing, but I've always been the type of person that's able to feel when I'm being stared at, which can be extremely unsettling, especially when there's dozens of eyes on me all at once. Second area of reference. As a sigma male, if I'm out and about minding my own business and a stranger's going through something, they'll vent all their problems to me, asking for my advice on what to do about their current predicament. Meanwhile, for alpha males be seen as someone to confide in for advice and guidance, they have to publicly obtain the superficial acceptance referred to as validation by obtaining some level of fame and status. Third area of reference. Sigma males have an unmatched creative capability at anything that actually piques our creative interest. Now take the advanced editing aesthetic of this YouTube channel for example. To be completely honest here, the editing within this video is actually less than 20% of my best efforts in terms of my editing skills. To put it more simply, we sigma males never base any area of our lives on another person's blueprint, while possessing an unmatched level of substance and originality to our reactions, thought patterns, and mannerisms. Meanwhile, the alpha male archetype bases everything within their lives on someone else's blueprint, and with any alpha male, there is no originality to who they are. And you can always find another alpha male who is an exact carbon copy of their reactions, thought patterns, and mannerisms. Now let's commence teleportation to the next news report. enjoying the show so far, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button and comment your thoughts below to push me further into the algorithm. Let's roll that second news report.
Why Sigmas will change the world. Listen carefully. The world isn't run by the loudest or the flashiest. It's dominated by those who move in silence, strategic and calculated. That's the Sigma. They don't seek validation. They don't chase clout. They don't bow to society's fake rules. Sigmas are outside the system, and that's exactly why they're dangerous to it. They see the Matrix for what it is, a prison of distractions, fake status symbols, and manufactured conformity. Unlike betas chasing approval or alphas obsessed with dominance, the Sigma plays a different game. Control without being seen. Fire. Sigma male doesn't need anyone's permission to rise. He masters himself first. He builds his mind, sharpens his skills, and creates wealth not to flex, but for freedom. Every Sigma understands that the true power isn't in being liked. It's in being unshakable, untouchable, and unknowable. These men will change the world because they are independent thinkers. They question authority. They reject the narratives designed to keep people weak. Governments, corporations, and the media thrive on blind obedience. Sigmas are immune to all of it. The future belongs to men who refuse to kneel. The world is waking up, and when chaos comes, the Sigmas will rise. Why? Because they don't follow trends. They set them. They don't ask for power. They take it.
That video had an unparalleled level of efficiency in describing two things pertaining to being a Sigma male. First point of discussion. This person stated the undeniable fact that we Sigma males see the falsehood within the hierarchy of the system for what they are. Meanwhile, other archetypes honestly follow along with the set lifestyle specifically normal within society. For instance, most guys will say a man should be willing to step in and take leadership in situations that require someone to take charge. Meanwhile, a Sigma male like myself prefers to avoid anything that will label me as the leader of something. That's only because oftentimes leaders will have to give instructions to an incompetent person. And in my honest opinion, giving instructions to an incompetent person is equivalent to a plane crash. By that I mean, more than likely the incompetent person will cause something to go wrong. Or if they don't cause it to go completely wrong, whatever was left in their hands won't be anywhere up to par with the typical standard, and then the blame will fall directly back to whoever was appointed the leader. Now, to simplify what I'm saying, that was a perfect explanation of Sigma male's natural ability to sniff out insufficiencies in people and situations. The second point of discussion will perfectly describe how Sigma males experience high levels of discomfort in assimilating to other people. For instance, most guys my age base their actions and their words on what other people will think of them, literally cultivating the entire layout of their day-to-day lives to satisfy other people. Meanwhile, as a Sigma male, I'll always be my genuine, authentic self, regardless of what anyone says or thinks about me. For example, the typical follow the crowd type 25-year-old man will prefer to seriously date and potentially get married to a woman within our own age group. Meanwhile, I proudly profess to being a 25-year-old man designed for my future spouse to be strictly between the ages of 40 and 55. Now let's commence teleportation to the next news report. Enjoying the show so far, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also the like button and comment your thoughts below to push me further into the algorithm. Now let's roll that final news report.
How women view Sigma males. Here's the truth. Women don't know how to classify a Sigma male, and that's why they're fascinated by him. Unlike the predictable alpha who dominates the room or the beta who seeks approval, the Sigma is mysterious, unreadable, and unattached. He's the man who walks into her life without asking for attention and leaves a lasting impression without lifting a finger. Women are wired to notice what's different. A Sigma doesn't chase validation or flaunt power. He owns it quietly. This unpredictability makes him impossible to ignore. He's the type who makes her question everything. Why isn't he trying to impress me? Why doesn't he need my approval like the rest? The answer? He's not playing her game. While alphas flex and betas beg, the Sigma operates in a realm where freedom and independence are his currency. He has mastered himself, and that mastery radiates confidence without arrogance. His silence says more than most men's words. His absence carries more weight than someone else's presence. Women admire Sigmas because they don't need them, and paradoxically that makes them irresistibly desirable. He's emotionally self-sufficient. His life has purpose, and he doesn't compromise his values for anyone. That kind of power? It's addictive. But here's the catch. A Sigma doesn't care about admiration. He's on his own path, with or without her. And that is what keeps her thinking about him long after he's gone.
I fully agree with the statements within that video. But as a Sigma male myself, I would say there are multiple things that weren't mentioned about the unique way women view Sigma males. But I'll pivot my commentary for this one to a similar subject matter, which would be the unique trajectory of our interactions with women when we express interest. Now, first and foremost, as a Sigma male, I'm not going to shoot my shot at a woman unless she genuinely piques my interest. Now, I stated before that I'm naturally an over-the-top romantic, but in being over-the-top romantic, being rejected can sometimes be time-consuming. By that, I mean, women are genuinely flattered after I shoot my shot, and I'm genuinely unbothered by the rejection. But it seems after I started taking care of my health and my appearance, oftentimes after a woman tells me she's not interested, they'll start to make small talk to keep me in their face after they rejected me. Now, that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but when I'm told my interest isn't reciprocated, I'm genuinely bored of the interaction at that point and itching to go do something that actually excites me. Now, to sum up the synopsis of what I'm saying, Sigma males always experience an internal, overwhelming sense of boredom when faced with people and situations that don't reciprocate our energy.
3, 2, 1.
If you are an attractive 40 to 55-year-old black woman and you can see yourself seriously dating and potentially getting married to a 25-year-old man, be sure to hit me up on Instagram. All my shows are on this TV right behind me. Now, to any older women who may be watching this, I hold the belief that it's my obligation as a man to ensure that any woman I'm dating feels like a queen whenever she's in my presence. Meaning, I do all the housework for her. That includes cooking, cleaning, laundry, dishes after eating dinner. If we're eating dinner at home that specific day, taking out on dates every weekend with me always paying for everything, holding doors open for her. If we're not at a restaurant and we're sitting at a table instead of a booth, pulling a child before she takes a seat. Lastly, most importantly, whenever she's in my presence, I won't let one moment pass where she doesn't feel like the world revolves around her. I tried doing that for women my age. They always dumped me for being apparently too nice, which is why I now date 40 to 55-year-old women. Although I'm physically 25 years of age, from the time I was 19 to the time I was 22, I made all the internal changes to myself that most people wait until they're 40 and older to make. And the mental growth and maturing that accompanied those changes have rendered me romantically incompatible with women in my age group. So far in my attempts to date and potentially get married to an older woman, those that have entertained me only use me for sex. But I'm keeping hope alive that I will one day meet an older woman that won't allow my age to be a romantic barrier for her. Now, if you're a non-black woman, I don't want you. If you're a black woman under the age of 40, I don't want you either. But you can always do me a favor and forward this to some of your 40 to 55-year-old female family members. And I'm 100% serious about that. Due to me being a young man who prefers older women, I classify my sexuality as granny sexual. Now, if you enjoyed the show, comment your thoughts down below, hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons, and don't forget to ring my notification bell. You literally just tuned in to the best one-man show in history.